Do you ever feel like you're putting in all the effort, you're checking all the boxes, you're doing all the things, but you're ending up in exactly the same place?
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with Karma, your morning feels just right.
In Groundhog Day, effort isn't really the issue. Phil's intention is. Because the film really isn't about time repeating. I mean, it is, but the underlying message is what happens when growth is postponed and decisions stay unconscious. Hi, I'm Carma Spence, and I help established business and leadership experts write, publish, and market client attracting books that elevate their authority and drive business growth. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please like this video, comment below, share it with your colleagues, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this so that the YouTube algorithm knows that this is good content and that it's for people like you who want to grow their business with books. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 productivity lessons from the iconic film Groundhog Day. The first one is that repeating days aren't caused by Phil's lack of effort. They're caused by the same decisions being made on autopilot. It's not until he realizes, wait a minute, this day is going to repeat anyway. I can do anything I want. Like one day he punches the guy on the sidewalk. He learns to play the piano he repeats so often. He starts making different decisions. And when the change in those decisions make him a different man and he gets Andy McDowell's character to fall in love with him, he is freed. Well, the same thing can happen to us. Okay, the day doesn't repeat, but when you don't decide, or at least put down a plan of action for your book, for your business, you start being free flow, and free flow doesn't get you where you want to go. This is why I talk about rabbit author and turtle author. Rabbit author just kind of goes with the flow and just does whatever comes up to mind. He's a flibbertigibbet. But turtle author, he's methodical. He plans. He takes one step at a time. And that's why he wins the race. So this is why I highly recommend having an outline for your book. It's not written in stone, but it does give you some guardrails. And those guardrails are important because without them, we fall off the island, so to speak. So if you find yourself constantly doing the same thing out of habit, maybe it's time to take a look at the habit and say, does this serve me anymore? Maybe I should plan to do something different. Tip number 2 from the iconic film Groundhog Day. Phil doesn't escape the loop by optimizing his schedule. He escapes by changing who he chooses to be. And I hear this so many times. I really want to write a book, but I just don't have the time. And sometimes these people do amazing things to try and find the time. They block their calendar, they do all the productivity hats, except for one that most productivity gurus don't tell you about. And that is sit down, get clear on what you want to do and where you want to go and where you want to be and the things you think that will take you there. And then block your calendar and use the timer and do all the things. But until you know where you're going, you're not going to be able to be productive in a way that will get you there. So that means you need to change the way you do things, who you choose to be in any given moment. For example, I have spent the last several years being really just like overwhelmed by all the things happening in my life to the point where I felt like I had no control over my time. And About a month ago, someone suggested, well, can control the next hour? And I'm like, yes. And so I started approaching time that way. Okay, I'm not going to think about all the things that could happen during the day. I'm just going to work on this hour. I can control this hour. I know it's, and then when the next hour comes, I know it's going to go there and I control that. And since I've been doing that, taking each moment, one bit of block of time at a time, not trying to think too far in the future, but just now, the future was planned, but in order to implement that, I needed to think in blocks of this hour, this hour, this hour. Since I started doing that, I am way more productive because I'm not being derailed by all the overwhelming things that could, because I've got a lot on my plate, both professionally and personally. There's a lot on my plate. And I'm holding space for other people in my family who also have a lot on their plate. So I have to think of things this way. Maybe this technique will work for you too. If you are feeling overwhelmed by all the things, stop thinking about all the things. Plan the things you want to do and then focus on this hour, the next hour, the next hour. Change who you are in relation to whatever's been overwhelming you. Now, if you are struggling just to get clear, my Clarity Compass can help you out. It is a planner that helps you figure out what message you want to be known for and how you want to get it out there into the world. And it is free, and you can probably fill it out in like about an hour. It might take longer if you need to think a little bit more. It depends on where you are in your process with your brand, but it is extremely helpful. And you can get it at karmaspence.com/Clarity Compass. So now on to number 3. The loop breaks only when the internal work is done, not when the external conditions improve. Because if you watch the film, he's constantly changing his externals. He changes how he does things. He changes how he moves through time. Every day he does something different. But it's not until he grows as a human being and changes his internal self that everything else happens. And I've been talking about this all week. And that is, yes, productivity hacks work. They do. But they don't work until you've done the internal work. You've gotten clear. You've figured out what's going on between your ears that's causing all the mishaps. And sometimes you need to do that one step at a time. And sometimes you need to plan ahead. And sometimes you just need to sit and be quiet and let the chaos calm down around you. Do the internal work so that the external stuff can fall into place. I love this about self-development. You can help the internal work by doing external work, and you can do external work by doing internal work. Did you know that dressing up a certain way and looking nice, even putting just a little bit of lipstick on, if you're a woman, or maybe if you're a man, can change your entire outlook? I mean, before this, I started recording this podcast, there was some chaos going on in the house, and I I was breathless, but as soon as I grabbed my cup of coffee that says "Coffee with Karma" on it, I was in coffee with karma mode. I did something external to change the internal, and you can do the reverse as well. So there you go, 3 productivity tips pulled from the iconic film Groundhog Day. I will be back next week talking about mindset. And the first episode of next week is 5 strategic mindset principles that remove writing resistance. I hope to see you then. Until then, this is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.